Go placidly amid the noise and haste, and remember what peace there may be in silence. As far as possible without surrender, be on good terms with all persons. Speak your truth quietly and clearly, and listen to others, even the dull and ignorant. They too have their story. Avoid loud and aggressive persons. They are vexations to the spirit. If you compare yourself with others, you may become vain and bitter, for always there will be greater and lesser persons than yourself.
You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here, and whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should.
Enjoy your achievements as well as your plans. Keep interested in your own career. However humble, it is a real possession in the changing fortunes of time. Exercise caution in your business affairs, for the world is full of trickery. But let this not blind you to what virtue there is. Many persons strive for high ideals, and everywhere life is full of heroism. Be yourself. Especially do not feign affection. Neither be cynical about love, for in the face of all aridity and disenchantment, it is as perennial as the grass. Take kindly the counsel of the years, gracefully surrendering the things of youth. Nurture strength of spirit to shield you in sudden misfortune, but do not distress yourself with imaginings. Many fears are born of fatigue and loneliness. Beyond a wholesome discipline, be gentle with yourself.
You are a child.
You are a child of the universe, no less than the trees and the stars. You have a right to be here. And whether or not it is clear to you, no doubt the universe is unfolding as it should. Therefore, be at peace with God, whatever you conceive him to be, and whatever your labors and aspirations in the noisy confusion of life. Keep peace with your soul, with all its sham, drudgery and broken dreams. It is still a beautiful world. Be careful. Strive to be happy.
You are a child.
Yes. Good evening, all my South Orange Maple listeners, and all those other listeners in the towns of Millburn, Livingston, Irvington, West Orange, East Orange, Orange and Newark, as well as Trinidad and Tobago. Welcome to In the Village with Anselm and Marjorie and the South Orange Maple online radio experience, and live on the World Wide Web at SoMo.org, and the only radio show covering all your news, opinion, politics, talk, and sports happening in the South Orange Maple communities. You can listen to us every Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. That's Monday through Friday from 8 to 9:30 p.m. and reach us at 973-327-3626. That's 973-327-3626 to participate in the discussion. We have an interesting program lined up for you this evening, and I look forward to your participation in the discussion. Now tonight, ladies and gentlemen, I'll be flying solo. My co-host Marjorie, on Tuesday, she always has a busy Tuesday night, helping those AP kids. She's one of those brilliant AP teachers, and she's trying to help those kids be successful on many of those exams that those AP kids take. So we're gonna be flying it a little solo here tonight, bringing you over lots of information. I've got lots of information to bring to you tonight. And here is a good one for you. Sometimes you want to find out a little history about your home your Maplewood home? Okay, so here is a new story in the Village Green. Find out the history of your Maplewood home. Maplewood residents can learn about the history and architect of their homes this Sunday, November the 15th, from 1 to 3 p.m. at the local History Center located at the Hilton branch of Maplewood Library at 1688 Springfield Avenue. The center contains information and in some cases early photographs of Maplewood homes. Local experts from the Maplewood Historic Preservation Commission will be available to discuss repairs, replacement materials, and resources on how to fix your home. This is a free monthly outreach event offered by the Commission. The local History Center at the Hilton Library can be reached at 973-762-8120. That's 973-762-8120. And when you call, you can ask for Virginia Kershan. So if you want to learn about the history of your home in Maplewood, go over there on Saturday, November the 15th from 1 to 3 p.m. to find out about the history of your home. Now, as you know, there was an incident yesterday at Columbia High School. It just seemed these past few weeks we have had many incidents at Columbia High School. Implement metal detectors. It's very simple, ladies and gentlemen. Very simple. If you implement metal detectors, it may cost an extra 5-10 minutes, but the school is going to be a much safer place. And nothing drastic has happened, but prevention is better than cure. Don't wait for something significant to happen and say that we have been thinking about it. We have been discussing it. Do it now. Do not wait. Because they're going to go back. They're going to go back to this day and said, you know what? Anselm from the South Orange Maplewood Online Radio Experience told the school system that they should implement metal detectors. Many people may be in an uproar. Oh, it's a security issue. It looks like a jailhouse, all that stuff. But you know what? You're trying to protect each and every individual that's in that school at that time. It must be done. It has to be done. Times are different, ladies and gentlemen. It's not the same. This is not the 80s. It's not the 80s anymore. It's time we do it. So according to the article, Principal Aaron, CHS staff were prepared. Columbia High School staff were trained and prepared to react swiftly to yesterday's code red lockdown in both keeping students safe and helping them cope with any stress, reported Principal Elizabeth Aaron. Aaron commented on the staff response in answer to a query from the Village Green about whether or not there had been a code red drill at the school this year. An actual code red lockdown was enacted yesterday after it was reported that a student brought a weapon to school. Maplewood police later arrested the student who was in possession of brass knuckles. A search for an individual who is not a student but who may have been outside the school continues. Aaron reported that the school conducted drills for a fire and school evacuation in September and a fire drill and a code yellow in October. The CHS code red drill was scheduled for November. So, the school is doing what it's supposed to do. So we can't blame the school system, but we have to get very serious and we have to implement metal detectors. Things are different. CHS students give first-hand accounts of code red lockdown. Though most students and staff remain calm, there was some tense moment at Columbia High School on Monday when a code red lockdown was initiated after reports of a student possibly armed with a weapon or weapons. After a search of the building, police found a student armed with a pair of brass knuckles and arrested him, according to the Maplewood Police Chief Robert Cimino. No one was injured, and the lockdown was lifted at 2:15. Immediately notifying police and then announcing the code red over the loudspeaker. Just before 1 p.m., a siren went off with an automated voice stating, "This is a lockdown code red," said one student. Many students were surprised and somewhat frightened, according to a freshman who was in the boys' locker room with roughly 15 to 20 other students. "We heard the siren and the alarm announcing a lockdown," the freshman said. "There were no adults in the room at the time. The group huddled against a wall in the back of the shower area. After about 15 to 20 minutes, Assistant Principal Michael Haley announced on the loudspeaker that this was not a drill, but an active shooter situation. We were kind of freaked out and waiting for something to happen," the boy said. Some kids were shaken. Eventually a security guard and later a police officer came by to check on them. Haley made several announcements over the next hour, telling students police were on the scene and stay where you are. When the siren sounded, I knew immediately something was off because it was during lunch period, said one freshman who was in math class at the time. His teacher calmly told the students to move to the back of the room and away from the windows. The students remained silent for roughly an hour and 15 minutes. The teacher passed around a note letting students know that because of protocol, this might take a long time. The boy said students could hear helicopters buzzing overhead. "We knew something big was going on," he said. "Still," he said, "I was not scared because I'm confident in the security and efficiency of our school." After a police officer unlocked the door to check if everyone was all right, the students were allowed to return to their seats and talk quietly until the lockdown was lifted. Many students were texting parents and friends, and a lot of rumors were going around. A girl in a freshman history class said the teacher told students not to use their phone to text during the lockdown because it could be dangerous for anyone to know where they are. One senior English class on the 3rd floor spent most of the lockdown in a stifling book closet. "It was unbearably hot," said a student, who said one girl passed out. The teacher called the school nurse and gave the student water. One teacher had made us feel entirely secure. She has a calming presence and made the experience as stress-free as possible, the senior said. However, the siren and recurring announcement of an active shooter were disconcerting, she said. The students and her friend held each other's hands and held back tears. Overall, however, she thought administrators did a decent job handling the situation. At shortly after 2 p.m., Haley came on the loudspeaker again, along with the school head of security, who told students that the lockdown was over. Haley said students will continue with their 7th-period class. Students who had been outside the building at lunch when the lockdown began were allowed back in. "I never really thought it could happen here," said the senior. "Sure, I thought about it during the drills, but it never seemed like a real possibility. I'm really thankful that Columbia isn't another Columbine." And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. This is just, sometimes you get signs of things. Well, I consider myself a spiritual person. And I think this is sending a signal to Columbia High School that it's time that we get metal detectors. It's time. It's sending a signal. Nothing happened. The person was apprehended. Great. The person didn't have a gun. Excellent. But what's next? What's next? That we definitely have to take care of. We need metal detectors in the school system. Time check. The time is approximately 8:15 p.m. That time check is brought to you by All Star Motors, providing you with services you can trust. They provide you with ASC certified mechanics, New Jersey State inspection facilities,